Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another episode in my Football Manager series. This is episode number 72, and today we're returning with a massive triple header with our Bluebirds. And what three big games we've got in the space of 7 days. First, at home to Manchester United in the Premier League as the Red Devils look for revenge after knocking them out of the FA Cup quarterfinals in the last episode. Then Chelsea away at Stamford Bridge in the race for a Champions League place in midweek. And then next week, Liverpool in the FA Cup semi-final at Wembley in a repeat of last year's FA Cup final. If that doesn't get you hot under the collar, I don't know what will. But for the first game today against Manchester United, we'll briefly look at the table here. As you can see, we are indeed in 4th place with 9 games to go, 1 point clear of Arsenal in 5th place, breathing down our necks, and 4 clear of City, and we've got the game in hand on the lads from the Etihad as well. We're 2 points off Liverpool, we have 2 games in hand on the Reds as well, and also we're 7 points off Chelsea, but I have 1 game on hand on them as well. So destiny right now is in our own hands. Win our final 9 games, finish in the Champions League. But of course, that is easier said than done. So yeah, 3 huge games today, and nothing to show you off camera. You saw the last 2 games of the last episode. So let's just dive straight into it. Manchester United at home as the Red Devils stay top of the table and win the Premier League. And this will be our team for the game: 4-2-3-1 as we play. And right now in the injury report, Kimpembe still out, as we know. We won't see him again until the end of the season now. And also Jason is not ready to play just yet. He has played some under 23 games, but he's not ready. And I don't think we'll see him again until, well, thinking about it, perhaps the end of the season. I mean, it depends how quickly he recovers, but he's struggling to come back, Jason, from his latest hip injury. We might not see him again till the end of the season, and that'll be a big shame. But our lineup is Onana in goal, back for Ben Davis, Rob Holding, Geordie, and Odriozola, with Alenya and McTominay through the middle, and as McKennie right now is away on international duty, forgot to mention that. Attacking field trio: Sessegnon on the left, Sterling on the right, Gonzalez through the middle, and Morilla up top. And on the bench, Henderson, João Carlos, Stefano, Ward-Prowse, Rabiot, Woodburn, and Pedro Antonio as well. So loads to get through. First game, Manchester United at home. Let's get a big win here. Come on, you Bluebirds. Early chances, early goals, that's what we'd love today, but instead, quarter of an hour in, there's been absolutely nothing to report until now, as Liverpool go a goal up against Brighton as well. Got to be mindful of the other results now between now and the end of the season, as the big teams, we're looking for them to slip up in key games, as Alenya finds the OG, who have later started to play well, finds Ben Davis down the left, who crosses, Morilla, who scored those 2 goals. Old Trafford hits the crossbar as it goes behind for a goal kick. He's starting to come good in big games now, Poleo. A couple of times this season he showed it, and if he could score again today, that would be massive. But still 0-0 as the frame of the goal is rattling, and now Odriozola has brought someone down, and it's a VAR. And it's going to be a free kick. I've said before, man, I hope in next year's version of FM, I'm all for the VAR getting shown, but if it doesn't result in a penalty and then the free kick like that is wasted, I'd rather not see it. I mean, that wasn't too far over the bar, but it just slows the pace and the tempo of the game down, and I prefer not to see that. Anyway, that will do it for the first half. Goalless at the break, still tied at 0-0. And right now, looking at the condition of both teams, I'd say we're sort of even at the moment. You know, neither team is more tired than the other one, as Liverpool are now 2 goals up on Brighton. But I think we'll keep things as they are tactically. But what I might do is make one minor change and tell the boys to lower the tempo down a little bit and play the game at a little bit of a slower pace, just so we don't burn ourselves out. And then later on in the game, we'll speed things up again and perhaps freshen things up as well. So second half to begin, no team talk, just one minor change to our tactics. Still 0-0, second half begins. They had such a poor start to the season, Liverpool, but now 67 points. They're not totally out of the title race. There's still time for them. But I still think it is going to be United. So they go in front here. This will be massive. And they've done so. Burrell gets on the end of a Martial through ball. They're looking for revenge here in South Wales. And they might well get it. Lovely through ball by the Frenchman. And this is a new gen/regen English forward. He's got some fantastic stats. He's very quick. And he's certainly outpaced Rob Holding and Geordie there. Gets in behind. Fires it past Onana. 1-0 Manchester United. And now they've got a corner as well. Swung into the far post, which Geordie is that a penalty? Oh, Geordie, there was no need. There was no need. You know, this is the one thing about Geordie, and I mentioned this, I think it was in the last episode, as the OG's also gone down there. He's off the pitch, as Fabinho will surely make it 2-0, which he does, as he puts it into the bottom corner. For a giant that he is at 6'6", balls into the air is probably his biggest weakness. which is such a surprise. He seems to lose his bearings constantly when balls are looped over his head. He just seems to lose where he's on the pitch, and his balance is so poor. Brings a man down as the ball is trickling out for a throw-in. And we have capitulated here. 2-0 as Morilla heads over. It's United's game. They're getting revenge. Big defeat this. I really thought playing a game at a walking pace in the second half would suit us better. Hasn't really worked out that way, though. And Sterling gives the ball away, and Grimaldo sends it long. Once again, burrows in behind the back line, and once again, he's finished it. He's torn us apart. Cardiff City 0, Manchester United 3. They wanted revenge and they've got it. May as well take the OG off now. He's got that knock and I don't want to see him out for the game in midweek as well. We'll bring on Ben Woodburn. Maria with a 6.4. Fuck it. What was I talking about in the last episode? He's becoming a big game player now. Of course he bloody isn't. 3 certainties in life. Death, taxes, and Paleo Maria having a shocker in a big game. It's just something he can't get over. It's a mental block for Paleo Maria. As soon as we enter into a really big game, he can't do it. He just can't do it. And I feel for the guy, I do, because he's got literally everything in his locker. Oh, God, he's assisted Tony Martial for the 4th goal. No, he's not, as the French visit wide. As soon as he goes into a big game, he just feels the pressure and he's a shadow of himself. And it begs the question as well, what do we do with Paleo Maria then? Because, we're a team now that are becoming a big side. As Paleo knocks that wide towards Odriozola, if we get a consolation goal, at least something to celebrate. Oh, Maria's header saved. It's just not happening for him today. What do we do with him? Because, we're a big team now. We accept that. We're a team that are a European side. We're pretty much always going to be a European side now until the same is over, or at least you would think. And what do? Do we not play Maria in the big games? Because there's going to be loads of them throughout the campaign. Do we just not play him in the big matches? As Rabiot shot is saved by De Gea. Do we sell him and say, despite the fact you're our best player by quite some distance, if you can't perform in the big games, it's not good enough? What do we do with Paleo Maria? I'd say we can get around 100 to 110 million for him. I'm not going to sell him to a domestic club. The only club I'll sell him to is one outside of England. But I just don't know. I just don't know what the future holds for Paleo Maria. And I'm going to get assertive in the dressing room as well and say I'm far from pleased from what I just saw. We beat United at Old Trafford and we scored 3 goals, but tonight, just shocking. You can't have your best player finishing on a 6.4 time after time after time again in a big game. It's embarrassing, and it'll be more embarrassing as OG is... This season has been so frustrating. He's out for perhaps the rest of the... Well, no, he'll probably come back for the final couple of games. But he's going to be out for the Dynamo Kiev games with a calf strain there. This is such a frustrating season because we're in the top 4. We're in the Europa League quarterfinals. We're in the FA Cup semi-finals. But it's not... But at what cost? At what cost? And Evie knows. Evie knows. This doesn't even come as a surprise regarding Gonzalez. Of course it doesn't, Evie. We've seen it all season long. Larsson goes berserk. Henrik Larsson caused a stir by storming out of a press conference after Cardiff City's defeat against Manchester United. Larsson sensationally stormed out of the press conference after failing to answer a question, behaviour which is sure to cast fresh doubt on his ability to handle pressure. And the question was, can you explain Paleo Maria's bad day in front of goal? He just walked off. I don't know what to do, man. I really don't. Because he is the most frustrating player we've got in this team, and he's our best player as well. One thing that I've noticed as well is that if you remember last year, we asked him to develop a weaker foot. He didn't do it. The trait has disappeared, yet he's still a right-only footed player. And his stats always have green arrows. He's literally the complete forward. He's one of the world's football global superstars. He scored 6 times in 11 caps for Spain. But as amazing as his goal-to-game ratio is, he's a small game player. Against your Blackburn Rovers and your Norwich Cities and your Queen's Park Rangers, it'll get you 2 or 3 goals a game. But in the big games, when it matters most, he just can't do it. I don't know what to do. There are so many positives to his game, and this as well. This is huge. To have a world-class player that was homegrown and trained by your club, that's massive. But I don't know if I can overlook this anymore. I really don't. I said this in the last episode. I think in FM17, Brian Donnelly, the legend of that save, had that tag. Yet around this time, when he got to 23-24 as Arsenal beat Villa, and now we're out of the top 4 as well with 8 games to go. We've only got games in hand on Liverpool now too. He shrugged the tag off. But Morilla hasn't shrugged it off, and I don't think he ever will. Occasionally, like you saw in the last episode, that FA Cup quarter-final, the game against Spurs off camera this season as well, he'll do well. But for the most part, for the vast majority of the time, he just can't do it. I'm leaning towards sell now, I gotta be honest. I've been flirting with the idea for 2 or 3 years, but I kept faith with him. And I think I was right to keep faith with him when you look at these stats here, and you look at what we've done in the past 2 or 3 years as well. Champions League finalists, FA Cup winners, back-to-back Carabao Cup winners as well. You know, we're a European side now. I think we made the right choice, but big games, he's a different player. He's a shadow of himself. Just before that Chelsea game as well. Man City home to Norwich. Just real briefly going to process through this and see if they got the win, which they did, which means they cut the gap on us to just 1 point, although we do have a game in hand. This is just crazy tight, man. I think Chelsea are going to be okay unless we can beat them at the Bridge on Wednesday night. I think they'll be okay for a place in the top 4. But Liverpool, we've got games in hand on them. Arsenal, us and Manchester City battling for those 2 final spots. 4 teams going for those 2 spots there. It's going to be so tight. It could well come down to the wire. Yeah, you can win Young Player of the Year. You can win the Golden Boot. But when it's a big game, what does he do? He just goes missing. He just continuously goes missing. But I know what's going to happen. We'll sell him to Real Madrid, get under £1 million. We'll fail to replace him. We'll drop out of the European places, and he'll finally shrug the tag off when playing at the Bernabeu. He'll become a big game player. And I know in 5 years' time, we'll claw our way into the Champions League final, take on Real Madrid, and he'll bag a hat-trick against us. I can just see it. Right then, let's do it. Second of 3 games today. It is Chelsea away at Stamford Bridge, back in the Premier League. Our unbeaten run now over, and now we've got a massive game to try and respond away in London before the FA Cup semi-final on Saturday as well. What a huge week we've got here. And after a poor start, can we now respond here in a big 2nd versus 5th battle? So our team for the game, stick with the 4-2-3-1. It is our best system, but a few changes to our lineup, and this will now be our team. Onana retains his place in goal as we'll play Henderson on the weekend in the FA Cup semi-final. The back four has now gone Calvez, Holding. I was thinking about playing the kid, João Carlos, over Geordie, but I think I'll keep the Dutch centre-back in, and Stefano at right-back. Camarasa comes in because you've got to go to the boys you trust in these sort of games, and Weston McKennie attacking midfield, Sessegnon on the left, Sterling on the right, and Alenya playing further forward now with the OG done for most of the rest of the season, and Pedro Antonio starting. Morilla, I can't play you, mate. I'm sorry, I just can't. On the bench, Henderson, João Carlos, Odriozola, Ward-Prowse, Rabiot, Woodburn, and Paleo as well. Here we go, 2nd of 3, Chelsea away, lose this game, and we're in deep trouble. Come on, you Bluebirds. What works in our favour right now, as I'm going to say to the boys, passionately, try and instill some passion into the lads. We owe Chelsea, after having our last match, go out there and get revenge. What's in our favour is that after this game, all of the remaining matches we've got, none of which are against teams in the top 6, we've got definitely a really favourable run to the end of the season. And we should be able to pick up, I would say, at least 5 wins in our remaining fixtures. So that might well be enough, even if we lose today, but it might not be. Because if the other teams win, then, you know, it's over. So we could do with at least a draw today, at least a point. We haven't registered a single shot on goal in the first half. But we do have a highlight here with Stefano throwing it straight to Benteke. But McKennie gets it on the deck as Arsenal are now in front against Watford as well. I mean, yeah, it's all well and good me saying that if we win our remaining games, then we might well do it. But if the other teams win, then we won't do it. As simple as that. As Camarasa finds gone Calvez. And we can't find an opening in Chelsea's back line. But maybe now as Helder's got space to cross. Pedro Antonio heads it straight at Kepa. Still goalless. That's going to do it for the first half, where statistically it seems we've been dominated. It doesn't really feel like it so far. So instead of changing tactics like I did in Wales on the weekend, we'll leave things as they are and just head straight into the second half, saying nothing to the boys. Still 0-0. I'll take this point and a clean sheet every day of the week, though. Chance for Chelsea, though, early on in the second half as the Gunners are now 2-0 up at the Emirates Stadium. I just don't know if we're going to do it. I don't want to drop out of the top 4 again, but I just don't know if we can. As Van der Kaput fires in. This lad is just so hard to stop. 1-0, Blues in front. We are set for back-to-back defeats in back-to-back massive games. We need at least a point or two. We're going to end up with none out of a possible 6. Marco Asensio's cross. What a first-time volley into the roof of the net. 1-0. I'm going to switch to our narrow system now as well. It's gone. Calvez is frustrated, so I think I'll take him off and bring on Woodburn. I've got Morilla on the bench, but I'm bringing on Woodburn. That says it all. And Ward-Prowse can come on for Sterling, and he'll play box-to-box with Cam Rass as deep line playmaker. We've got 25 minutes to go. Changing tactics. Can we confuse Chelsea and get an equaliser? I doubt it. This has got to hurt Paleo Morilla, but good. Good. I want it to hurt Morilla. I want him to be sat there questioning why he's on 175 grand a week. He's the top scorer of the Premier League, but instead it's Ben Woodburn that's on the pitch, and that's why. Because Morilla would have put it wide, but Woodburn puts it in. Chelsea won. Cardiff City won. Super sub. Paleo Morilla, I hope you sat there right now feeling embarrassed. Your face has gone bright red. Woodburn drills into the bottom corner after Alenya's through ball, and we're back on level terms now. 18 minutes to go. Can we come from behind to win? No, 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 no. Oh, just over the bar. Chelsea going for the win and looking for that second goal. Goretzka. Oh, not Goretzka. Not Goretzka. Yes, Weston McKennie. Oh, Alenya played a better through ball and Woodburn through again. Oh, Pedro Antonio, what was that? I tell you, I'm on the edge of my bloody seat right now. This is such a big moment in the season. Gabriel Jesus lost out to Stefano as Onana clears it long. Oh, chance for a break. Pedro Antonio. Pedro Antonio. Oh, Woodburn, that would have been massive. Oh, there's a winner. There's a winner in this game, and it's going to be huge. Please don't lose it later on like we did at Wembley. Oh, the whole team go and celebrate with him. That's what £106 million gets you. Jerry van der Kaput fires it home for his brace. First touch round holding, and the strike past Onana. Could he have done better? Quite possibly. Oh, Woodburn had the chance. I'm not bringing Morilla on. Fuck him. Sit on the bench, mate. Sit on the bench. I don't even know who we can bring on here. Rabiota or Odriozola. I mean, if we bring on Rabiota, who comes off? He's a left winger, not a central player. May as well just bring on Odriozola for a bit more pace down that right-hand side. But 5 minutes to go, stoppage time. Corner for Chelsea. And it's over. Christensen heads it in. And it's 3-1. A season of missed opportunities. That's what it is. Oh, Woodburn. I mean, you can't really criticise him too much as he almost set up Sessegnon for a second goal there. He scored a goal to put us back on level terms. He looked lively since coming on. He looked our best player since coming on. But it just wasn't to be. Defensively, that's 2 straight games conceding 3 goals each. Henderson definitely back between the 6 for the Liverpool game on the weekend. But oh, we could have won it had Woodburn finished that chance. We would have been 2-1 up. And instead we lose it 3-1. It's a make or miss league. And we miss our chances. And we miss out on the points. 3-1. Fucking hell. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. I'm actually going to say to the boys, unlucky though. I'm going to say unlucky, and they're relaxed and motivated. They've gained confidence through that as well, because we did well. Like, we were getting dominated statistically, and we did get dominated statistically throughout the game, but we had a couple of golden chances, 2 or 3 towards the end, and as City beat QPR, we've now dropped down to 6th place in the table. 7 games to go, and again, this is what I was referencing earlier. When we look at the fixtures we've got, QPR at home, Norwich away, Everton away, tricky test at Goodison Park, but still winnable. Brighton at home, Wolves away, Fulham away, Huddersfield at home. All of those games there are more than winnable. We should pick up 7 wins from 7 and 3 points in all those games there. And that will probably be enough, but we're going to have to do that. We can get a single point in these 2 games against rivals for a top 4 place, and we may well pay the price come the end of the season. So disappointed, but again, we just have the quality. We can't beat the big teams. We've had 7 defeats this season in the Premier League, and this is my point as to why it's a real challenge for us to get into the top 4 consistently, because when you look at the defeats, look at the teams we've lost to. Every team has been a side right now above us in the table, apart from Watford away at Vicarage Road. So it's the only loss of the 7 which hasn't been against a top 5 team. We can beat the small teams. Morilla can turn up in the small games. But against the big boys, we just can't stand up to the pressure. We don't have it. I just don't know what it's going to take for us to be able to do that. I really don't. Morilla's got to go. I mean, I'm sorry. He is the Golden Boot winner of last year. He is on course to win it back to back. But as far as I'm concerned, it's not enough. If you can't come good in the big games, what use are you to a big club? Simple as that. If you go missing when it matters most, why even be on the pitch? I'm going to play the 4-4-2 diamond now against Liverpool as well. I thought he looked good when switching to that, actually. I thought he looked good because, again, the 4-2-3-1, as I mentioned before, this is our tiki-taka style of play. Possession heavy. We keep the ball. We knock it around quite nicely. But in this system, we press quite high. And we win the ball back. We quickly pop it up the pitch for quick counter-attacks. I like this against big teams. I think that's how it should be now. Against the teams where we expect to win, play the tiki-taka high possession style of play. In the games we expect to lose against the big boys, play the counter style of play. And so just before that FA Cup semi-final, we had the evening kick-off today on the Saturday. We've got a big game in the Premier League as Burnley play host to Arsenal at Turf Moor. If the Clarets could take points off the Gunners, they would do us an absolutely massive favour in our race for Champions League football. Why did they even bother? Why did I even think that was going to happen? The Gunners right now are just on fire. 4 wins from their last 5 games. They're now, 8 points clear of us? We've only got 1 game in hand them as well. 7 games to go. We've got to win all of our remaining 7 games. We're now 6 points off 4th if we are to make the top 4. We can't slip up in any of our games now. And on the back of 2 straight defeats, this could be 3 in a row if we lose here. The competition gone. We won't retain the FA Cup if we lose today in the semi-finals. And then on Thursday night, Dynamo Kiev away in Ukraine. The first leg of the Europa League quarter-final as the winners of this tie are going to take on City, who beat Chelsea in the lunchtime kick-off in the other semi-final. That is going to be so much pressure, so much nerves heading to that game if we lose today as well. We could be set for 4 straight defeats. I can see it now. Dynamo Kiev after I dissed them on national television after the draw, saying that's the team I wanted to get. I can see it now. Dynamo Kiev 2, Cardiff City 0. Right, so third and final game, FA Cup semi-final, 4-4-2 diamond narrow gegenpress, and this is our team. Henderson is in goal, picked up a knock-in training, but he's okay to start the game. And the back four has gone Cowers, Holding, Jordan, Odriozola, with our midfield quad being Camarasa, Ward, Prowse and McKennie, and Paleo Morilla is back in the team. And he's playing as the advanced playmaker today. I got a feeling that maybe the reason Morilla struggles in the big games is because there's too much pressure on him to score the goals. Well, today, less pressure on Morilla. Leading the team out as captain, but he's supporting Woodburn and Pedro Antonio up top. If Morilla fails to come good today, no more excuses. I think he's done. Last chance for Paleo Morilla today. So on the bench, Onana, João Carlos, Sessegnon, Ramsey, Alenia, Rabiota and Sterling as well. Third and final game, FA Cup semi-final at Wembley. Come on, you Bluebirds. No more excuses for Morilla. None whatsoever. And I'm going to say to the boys, calmly, keep it calm. This is cup football, knockout football. You've got to keep a calm head. I expect nothing but a win from this match to cut our recent run of bad results. Oh, I have faith in you. Oh yeah, never let you down. Never let you down, I have faith. Never let you down. It never does. It never does. Calm, I have faith, never lets you down. And I know I bang on about it like a broken record, but the truth of the matter is I really hope that in next year's FM and in future versions, the assertive pre-match team talks can do something, and calm, I have faith, doesn't always wield you a guarantee positive reaction, because again, it's too predictable. First highlight, Liverpool, 1 minute into the game. Oh, Dean Henderson. He loves a big match, Henderson. Keeps out of Vinicius Jr. If they would have gone a goal up inside the first minute, and they still might go up inside the first 5 minutes, honestly, we are just capitulating here. Goncalves heads away, and Morilla leads a counter-attack. Paleo tackled, and Liverpool get it back. Cardiff City cannot play in the big games. Boyer over the top. Vinicius Jr. Henderson again. Another big save. I think Dean's going to start on Thursday night at this rate. Correa's corner. Boyer heads on, Holding heads it away. I mentioned before, I think Onana's the better goalkeeper all round. But Henderson comes good in the big games. He's more reliable. I've got to manage our player personalities better, I feel. Onana and Morilla, they should never play in the big games because they can't do it. Holding's gone Calvert, and 25 minutes in, despite 2 good chances for Liverpool, we're still tied at 0-0. And as Morilla spreads the play, Odriozola down the right crosses, and it's cleared away. And the Reds get it back. That was our first sighted goal there. And now Liverpool are going to have another chance. Vinicius Jr. is away from Weston McKennie. In goes the cross. And the header just over. Still goals. They could be 2 or 3 goals up already. Another highlight before the break. And again, it's going to come to the Reds. It's all Liverpool. And as Vinicius Jr. finds Peter, Henderson again. Dean Henderson. What a stormer out there. Big game player Dean Henderson. Paleo Morilla, take note. Rolando Mandragora into Ndombele. And out wide towards Anic. If it's not for Henderson, we'd be 3 or 4 goals down already at the break. Boya. And there is the first goal. It was coming. It was coming. The problem with this system is it invites a lot of pressure. And as good as it is for counter-attacks, you saw that against Chelsea, a couple of great chances on the break. Against the big teams, I mean, sometimes it might work, but you're inviting so many opportunities in your goal. Boya sent through. Henderson can't provide heroics for the 4th time. 1-0 Liverpool. 3 straight defeats are on the card for Cardiff City. It's all falling apart. Morilla is on a 6.4. No excuses. No excuses anymore. And I tell you, I'm going to say to the boys, I'm going to get aggressive at half-time. And I rarely ever get aggressive. Show me something else in the second half. This is it as far as I'm concerned. Maria's got 45 minutes to save himself as a Cardiff City player. Otherwise, in the summer, I'm 90% confident he'll be in a different colour shirt next season. Or maybe a blue shirt, but not a Cardiff City shirt. This is it for Morilla. This is it. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Oh, God. Paleo. Like, you've literally got everything in your locker. And that's what people don't understand. 6'4". Height, strength, agility, pace, technical quality. Oh, Henderson again! Henderson is single-handedly keeping us in this semi-final. He's got everything, but in the big games, he's just awful. Camarasa across to McKennie, and Odriozola down the right. We need a miracle, and we might well have got one. We've got a penalty. We've got a penalty, and Ben Woodburn is going to take it. I was thinking about changing it to Morilla, but Woodburn is going to take it. And he scored it against his former club. And it's 1-1, 16 minutes to go. Ben, with 2-2, has got ourselves the equaliser. Well, a penalty. Woodburn dispatches it. And we're back on level terms. And to be fair, in the second half, we've not actually conceded that many chances. So aggressively, the boys have livened up, but instead right on cue. Boya's in behind the back line. Henderson again! Henderson! Dean's got the big balls, baby. Another massive save. And it's still 1-1. If Liverpool don't win this and we somehow make it through to the final, Henderson, forget the champagne, mate. You can have whatever you want. You can have whatever you want. I'll tell you what, you can keep the trophy if we go on to retain it come the end of the season. This has been a goalkeeping masterclass. Boya turns Holding and plays it long. Vinicius Jr. again, they're in behind. And again, Henderson makes the save. Friendship broken with Andre. Now Dean is my best friend as Geordie wins a free kick. 11 minutes ago, not made a change yet. And we're still tied at 1-1. And I think as things stand, we'll be going through to extra time unless Liverpool can get the deserved winning goal from this corner. Rolando Mandragora shot blocked. Kovacic goes for... Oh, well, that is just pure magic from Mateo Kovacic. The Reds back in front, and you can't say it wasn't coming. If not for Henderson, this tie would have been done by half-time. Kovacic with an extraordinary goal from a tight angle. I want to see that again. From a tight angle, oh, wow, that is beautiful. Bottom corner, 2-1. Reds back in front, it's over. We wouldn't have deserved to go into extra time anyway. It was all Liverpool in this game. And we got the one chance through the spot kick, which Ben did well to convert, but really... it would have been the most undeserved win ever, how we somehow won it. Henderson was an absolute madman. And Morilla in the end finished with a 6.7. He actually did better in the second half than the first half, Morilla. But, again, it's another big game where he failed to provide anything of note. Is this the end for Paleo Morilla? As I'll say, I'm far from pleased with what I saw from the team. Are we going to see Morilla again next season? I don't know. But what I do know is that it's 3 straight defeats for Cardiff City. We will not retain our FA Cup. The only winnable competition left is the Europa League. And on the back of 3 defeats, Dynamo Kiev away in Ukraine on Thursday. I mean, the pressure heading into that game after I said this is the team I want. If we lose that, well, it's over. I got 3 defeats on the bounce. Gee, we have capitulated completely. And that is going to end today's episode of the Football Manager series, guys. So big thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. And if you did, despite 3 losses, then please drop a like. We are coming straight back with both legs in that Dynamo Kiev Europa League quarterfinal tie. The game in Ukraine on Thursday. Oh, God, I can already tell that the banners welcome to hell as they await us in Ukraine. I can't wait for it. Have a great day, guys. Much love to you all. We'll try and pick ourselves up, and I'll see you for that next episode. What a fantastic tie it's going to be very soon. Bye now.